对方今年的非常的推出了500的外线，给他7.5万。
1 heart of Asia's entertainment capital, we bring you the finals of the Asia League Terrific 12 all the way from the Studio City Event Center. Out of 12 teams, only 2 remain steady. The琉球Golden Kings of Japan and the Guangzhou Long Lions of China. They're vying for that beautiful trophy. But more importantly, just the fact to know that you are the best club in the region. John Sulit and Sidel Tupas bringing you the action all the way from Macau. Happy to have you with us as we finally find out who will reign supreme. 40 minutes, maybe even more. That's what we need to finally name a Terrific 12 champion.
And then there were 2, and probably the 2 best teams here in the Terrific 12 tournament. Guangzhou and Ryukyu, both teams going on separate paths all the way to the finals. We saw Ryukyu playing some of the best basketball in the Terrific 12. And as for the Guangzhou Long Lions, we saw how explosive this team can be. So many weapons on both teams, and it surely is going to be a magical 40 minutes of basketball coming right up.
Absolutely, Sidel. You're mentioning how Ryukyu just lorded over their opponents in their previous matches. For this team from Japan, it really has been such an impressive campaign for them. Won their first game against the PBA D-League Ayako Green Warriors, 103-75. So they opened up their campaign with what was the largest winning margin of the tournament, 28-point win. And then the very next day, they defeated the Xinjiang Flying Tigers, a highly touted team, 74-59 before they entered the semifinals. And then in that Final Four, they outplayed Nagoya Diamond Dolphins, fellow Japanese, 66-48.
Well, for me, this is going to be, a battle, a war for Ryukyu. And the concern for me right here, Judd, if you see all those games there with Ryukyu, they won by double digits. And they haven't experienced a tight ball game just yet, and that could come into play, especially against Guangzhou, which is a battle-tested team. They beat Chiba by 9, Guangzhou Long Lions, and following it up with an overtime win over the Ulsan Hyundai Mobis Phoebus. And in the semifinals, they beat the Seoul Samsung Thunders, who struggled mightily from beyond the arc. So, you see a team that's quite dominant going all the way to the finals, and another team in Guangzhou that is really, built from start to finish, can withstand pressure, and it surely is going to be an interesting game between these 2 teams.
Absolutely, Sidel. We're taking a look at the starters from the Guangzhou Long Lions. That guy on your screens, Kyle Fong, the league leader in points, 32.7 points per game, but Chandrajan Mukhtar also came up heavy. That 4th quarter against the Seoul Samsung Thunders, there was a chance for the Korean team to come back, but Mukhtar just hit 4 3-pointers in that 4th period to fully close the door on the Thunders. He even used a padlock to seal that win.
Well, absolutely. Chandrajan Mukhtar catching fire at just the right moment for the Guangzhou Long Lions.
Well, what do you think? What would you identify as the strengths on both ends of the floor for the respective teams?
Well, both teams are really, they play differently. And Guangzhou, they rely a lot on their big men and Kyle Fong in the backcourt. But as for Ryukyu, they spread the wealth and they move the ball around and they have a balanced attack. And that should come into play, and we will see how the Japanese team can cope with the size of this Guangzhou team as well.
Ball is up, game is on. Namizato opens up the scoring with that elbow J.
Namizato on the attack right from the get-go. He opts to share the wealth with his teammates usually, but now, he has to take charge because, if he doesn't, these Guangzhou players will sack off him and really, you know, a pass-first point guard should also take the cudgels for this team.
Looking at the lineup here for the琉球Golden Kings, of course, what would stand out is the twin towers of Jeff Ayers and Josh Cott manning or protecting that middle for them every time at the start of the game. But how big of an addition was Ira Brown finally playing his first game in the terrific 12 in that semifinals game?
Well, additional manpower, but not only that, Ira Brown, experience and power and strength underneath. As you take a look at this foul on Josh Cott as Zhang was diving to the basket. They give him, he gives Guangzhou, Ryuki rather, an extra man right there, especially when Ayers or Josh Cott take a breather. They don't lose a lot when those two players are out.
Or Kyle Fogg going to work immediately. He sees a mismatch, especially in terms of height. With Namizato guarding him, Zhang getting called for the foul there. What would you say is Ryukyu's best bet in stopping or at least limiting Fogg?
Well, they have to put a taller guy on him, because if it's Kishimoto or Namizato, Kyle Fogg is just going to have his way with those two players, and they can't double on him as well, because Guangzhou has a string of deadly shooters and attackers as well. So it should be a problem here, because I don't think anyone can match up with Kyle Fogg right here as Jeff Ayers makes that three.
It lets everyone know that it indeed was a tray bomb that he just deployed. 5-2 on early lead for Ryukyu. Well, we mentioned a guy who's coming off the bench for Ryukyu and Ira Brown. You gotta be wary, of course, of Maurice Pates, who's also a key addition, the sixth man of the Lions.
And Maurice Pates has really shown his quality and his caliber in this tournament.
Basketball seems so easy when it comes to more buckets. And also, that was easy with Josh Cott getting rid of the defender. Zhang just falling there.
On the former Colorado Buffalo, Josh Cott pulling his way inside for 2 points.
Sure, forcing things. Good offensive rebound. They can get out to Fogg. Only guy who has scored for Guangzhou. Zhang had his back on that basketball. Ryukyu going the other way. Oh, fancy pass. Too much sauce there. A turnover for Ryukyu. Namizato apologizing to his bench.
Ju Ming-shin immediately. We see Zhu bumping his chest there.
Body's falling on the floor. That's the second time that Zhang fell down. Fogg also was knocked out by that pick from Ayers earlier.
And Ryukyu, they move the ball very well, and Guangzhou has to be wary of this. The ball movement has been pretty for Ryukyu in this tournament.
Rebounding, favoring the Chinese right now with their high. Fogg may have warded a bit there, warded off, I mean, but nonetheless, a bucket for him.
Fogg is a matchup problem for Ryukyu, but you know, Guangzhou cannot go to him, you know, all the time.
But that has been a shot that Furukawa has been knocking down all tournament long. The Japanese have yet to miss a single shot from the field.
Zhang.
Last touch and go. You know, the shots that Mokhtar take, they're difficult because he takes those threes even when there's a guy right in front of him. But at the same time, he's a much taller guard compared to the guys guarding him. So he sees that basket very well.
No, especially against Kishimoto, that's a match. It's a mismatch as well.
And also, Sidel, we saw him knock down those tough shots yesterday.
Well, absolutely. As Scott again forces that one. But you know, Mokhtar, when he gets going, he's very streaky, and that is a problem for Ryukyu when he gets going.
Fogg in his element. 7 points for the leading scorer of the terrific 12.
7 of the 9 points of Guangzhou belonging to Kyle Fogg, and Kyle Fogg immediately recognizing that he has a big advantage against these two backcourt players of UQ.
Myers missing on that three. Fogg getting the board.
Good closeout there by Gokai. Had to scramble all the way from the other side of the court.
Fogg looking for the foul there. Namisato standing his ground, making it difficult. Namisato with the cutting irons. That's already the third jab for the Ryukyu Golden Kings here in the finals.
But one-way player, Namisato. And what about that pass? Already in the air. Saw Ayers in his peripheral, cutting to the basket and giving up that better shot and better look in a slam dunk for Ayers.
Makar trying to draw a foul. Jam, no good. Good box out there for Kishimoto. And Makar will be whistled for a technical there. He was upset at the no call, but your thoughts on that? Should there have been a foul or anything called?
I don't think so, right there. I think Kishimoto did well there. Didn't really. There was not enough contact for me to merit a loose ball foul. Shirley Chan missing his first two three-pointers. Has to go to the bench.
You know, it's easy to get upset in very tense, very pressure-packed situations like this, like the finals of Terrific 12, because unlike most tournaments, Adelph, this is not a series. This is just one game. You win, good for you. You take home that trophy. You lose, everything you worked hard for over the past 5 days. Well, of course, you still finish second, but you know, you feel that it goes to waste.
Yeah, definitely. Ira Brown already in the ball game as Scott takes a breather.
So steady that stroke from Furukawa.
Oh, I like how the way he elevates for that shot. Even Zhu Mingxin, he gives up a lot of inches on Zhu, but you know, when Furukawa elevates, hard to block that one.
Chen Yung-chen sends it to Fogg. Fogg almost losing his dribble. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Kishimoto. Great defense. Fogg missing. Spates getting the board. Taken away by Ayers.
Fogg right there struggling because Fuyuti's guards are moving their feet very well. And Furukawa catching fire early.
It is now a 9-point lead for the Golden Kings of Japan. Shooting 80% from the field. Spades, higher ground in front of him. Spades shoots on top of his defender but misses. Namisato to Kishimoto, open. Not there. Brown trying to fight hard for that rebound. Oh, Spades saved it to the wrong guy.
And very patient, the Golden Kings. Namisato had an open shot, opted to wait for his teammates.
Kickball violation. Ball will stay with Ryukyu. A timeout has been called by Coach Juan Antonio Orenga. He is not liking what he's seeing here. His men coming out flat in the most important game of this tournament.
Play situation, more fear of pick and roll, middle, okay, and everybody is prepared.
咱们这个进攻啊，多打中路的挡拆啊，完了之后两边注意看两边比较。
In defense, if we don't run back, they don't have the running, they will kill us.
咱们对手一定要快啊，势在必将。对手要先找球，先防球，不然的话，对方老是打快攻啊，太容易了。
Play from the open.
防守要拿到的更好。
Close to a perfect start here for the Ryukyu Golden Kings. That's why they have taken an 18-9 advantage early in this finals matchup. John Sulit and Sedelf Tufa still on the call here for the granddaddy of games here in the Asia League Terrific 12.
Well, you know, Guangzhou, they're in a 9-point hole now. And they also trailed against Seoul Samsung Thunders. But this is a different animal right here, the Ryukyu Golden Kings. They have the size, they have the quickness, and they are disciplined enough to really execute and get on their offense, into the flow of their offense.
Ball with Chen. Kishimoto in front of him. Ball away. No good. Rebound taken by Guangzhou. Tough jumper, hits nothing. You know, more than the offense, more than the 80% shooting of the Golden Kings right now, how impressive has their defense been?
Oh, absolutely impressive, Judd, because they are not giving up penetrations. And that is, for me, the strength of this long lines team. They get to the basket really quickly. But right there, Kishimoto just holding his hand up, and Ray Chen forced into an air ball.
Furukawa again. Furukawa, former national team member of Japan, really imposing his might here.
Well, that elbow perimeter area is where Furukawa is at his best. And this, I think, is something that Guangzhou should exploit. Kyle Fogg on the low block against a smaller Ryukyu defender.
Kyle Fogg, he will be the life of the Long Lions here. Ishizaki, out to Scott, jumper no good. Sun Min-yang getting that rebound.
Well, finally, the Guangzhou Long Lions get a stop on the Ryukyu Golden Kings.
Spades has a smaller Brown. Ira taps that ball away. And that's going to be a foul on Ira Brown. Used that bump. Spades, however, passing that out. I thought that if he put that shot up, that would have been 3 free throws for him.
And definitely, one of the tendencies of Spades is really shoot from beyond the arc, but not off the dribble, though. As Ira Brown... They go to Sun inside. Back out to Fogg. Fogg. Looking for Sun. Match up against the smaller defender there. That's Ishizaki. Brown now against Sun. Brown makes the jumper. No good. Scott with the offensive rebound. Getting away from Spades on that spin. And he'll go to the line for a couple of foul shots. Josh Scott, his quickness just causing problems for this Guangzhou team.
Well, you know, we've heard some people here in the league say that they've seen Maurice Spades in better condition, so we don't know at what percentage he is. Maybe just getting back from the off season and prepping himself for the upcoming CBA season, and I'm sure he's going to be better in a while, but right now, the Ryukyu Golden Kings knowing, understanding where to attack Mo buckets.
Well, 10-point lead for the Kings, and it's just an overall domination right now.
Spades now trying to get the ball in the post. They go instead to Fogg. 7 seconds to shoot. They get the mismatch. Fogg trying to dance in front of Scott. A kick out to C. Missing on the outside shot.
Well, that's a shot that Ryukyu will give Guangzhou all day.
Ryukyu swinging that basketball. Ishizaki, oh, check that. Ira Brown trying to go up high for that rebound. It was Hashimoto missing that.
Hashimoto got the pass from Suda. Actually, Hashimoto a dead shot as well. And acknowledges the miss. And he got 17 points against Xinjiang, and that shows you how good he is as well.
Last shot time here for Guangzhou. Fogg. Foul given up on him. That's committed by Yutaro Suda. Still smart, and that's going to be the last foul to give for Ryukyu.
That chops off a bit of time remaining here for Guangzhou to get their offense going.
Sun getting the 2 points there.
A nice dive to the basket by Sun, recognizing that Fog was in trouble on that double team. And that cuts the lead to 8 for Ryukyu. Still a long way to go. At the end of one, it's 21-13, Ryukyu.
Takatoshi Furukawa had a perfect first quarter, 8 points, 4 of 4 from the field, and his output has matched up at least, well, of course, 9 points more than 8, but generally canceling out what Kalpak has provided for the Guangzhou Long Lions.
Well, absolutely effective Furukawa when he gets into that rhythm, especially in the catch and shoot situation. And as soon as he elevates, I think Joe was unable to keep a hold of him in that first quarter. Just deceptive Furukawa when it comes to getting the ball off the curl and elevating for those jump shots.
Hashimoto getting called for the foul. Spates looking for his first 3. But that's a couple of offensive rebounds already. But the Chinese lose possession because of an offensive foul on Sun.
Well, they're settling for outside shots, the Guangzhou Long Lions. Not that, you know, most Spates can hit those shots, but I thought they can actually go inside and really get that advantage right there.
Take a look at that moving pick from Sun Min-yang. And it was unnecessary at that point because Chen had already gotten away from his screen. He already utilized it. The combination of Scott and Ayers back on the floor for Ryukyu. Suda was fouled there by Soo Kim. And Sikun, rather.
And we saw this Guangzhou team get exposed by Ben Mbala yesterday. They struggle when they have, the other team has mobile, quick and athletic big men. And when you attack the paint, they struggle to stay in front of their man, unlike the琉球Golden Kings, who are disciplined enough to stay in front. But what about that shot?
Another 3-pointer for Ryukyu. That one courtesy of Kishimoto, the team captain. And he has also been an integral part of this unit. Kishimoto averaging 8.3 points in this tournament.
This time, this is a better matchup here for Ryukyu. Suda on Kyle Fogg as a foul on Ayers is whistled.
Jeff Ayers will pick up his first personal. And I think for many fans here in Macau, and for everyone watching the Asia League Terrific 12, that's a matchup they've been waiting for. Maurice Pates versus Jeff Ayers, but Kishimoto asking for his 2 seconds of fame, knocking down that 3-pointer.
Well, 2 veteran NBA players Adding a glamour to our tournament. And speaking of glamour, Kyle Fogg has been absolutely fabulous in this tournament. 12 points already.
No doubt about that. Those were solid screens set by Spades and Sun Min Yang. Foul called on Mukhtar. He has had a very frustrating first half so far.
And this is the difference between the guards of Ryukyu and Guangzhou. Ryukyu's guards, they defend with their feet. And the Guangzhou Long Lions, on the other hand, they use their hands often.
Kishimoto again. This time it's a miss. Spades all alone for that board.
Now they got lucky there because Scott was able to set a solid pick for Kishimoto to fire.
Fogg, difficult shot there.
Well, what Ryukyu is doing well defensively is that they stay in front of Fogg and they funnel him to the big man for the help defense. And by the time Fogg is there, it's already a tough shot for him.
It also helps that both Ayers and Scott are very lengthy and very athletic bigs.
Starting point guard Namizato is back on the floor.
That will not reach the shot clock. It will be a violation on Ryukyu.
Oh, one of the rare times that Guangzhou was able to limit Ryukyu's offense. It's been a fantastic performance so far from the Golden Kings, especially on the offensive end. That time, Guangzhou figuring out a way to make the stop. So loose ball scramble, Namizato comes away with it. It's off Namizato. Oh no.
Yeah, they give it to Ryukyu.
And coach Norio Sasa wiping that ball. It's off Ray Chen actually. Chen was actually trying to save that basketball. Suda is out. Furukawa returns to the ball game.
Eight-point lead still for Ryukyu. Namizato bodying up with Ray Chen. Namizato, that pass well read. Chen to Mukhtar. Shot is good. Timeout called by coach Norio Sasa. And there's frustration being shown here by Namizato. His options ran out there. And eventually, the Guangzhou Long Lions turning that into something good for themselves. While taking the steal, it will be Mukhtar finishing on the other end, courtesy of that Cheng Ying Chen assist.
And then Nari use it. Pistol heavy. Pin down. Carlin. Hold on. And then Larry. Pass it to Josh. Be patient. Who's gonna curl around here? Chicago. And come here high. Okay. Yeah, let's get this going. Nari, post feedしたらこっち側に裏にカットして。レフトサイドしてもずっとドリブルして、ポストフィードしてベースラインからガード。行こう行こう。
Kyle Fogg leading the way for Guangzhou with 12 points. Takatoshi Furukawa, high point man for the Golden Kings with 8 points. So far, most Spades on your screens. Still yet to get going in this ball game. But Guangzhou is showing us what they're made of here in the start of the second period. They're within 6 of Ryukyu.
Namizato again calling the shots, trying to go to Scott. Matched up against Sun. There's Ayers. Jumper by the free throw line. It's good. Back to an 8-point advantage for the Japanese.
And nice play there off the timeout. They put Furukawa down that middle, using him as the pick for Ayers to come out on that free throw line. And Ayers doing well to bury that jumper.
Fogg has it. Messy possession so far for Guangzhou. Leads to nothing.
Well, you saw Namizato there giving up his body. And Fogg had to push Namizato away as Kishimoto comes right back with a three. Oh, wow. What a response from the Golden Kings.
And that's how important the possession is here in a game, a knockout finals, Adel. You mess an opportunity up on your side, you pay the price on the other. Here's Mukhtar. Sticky defense played by Ryukyu. Good breakdown for Mukhtar, but Sun unable to receive that basketball well. Ryukyu on the run. Kishimoto to Furukawa. Three again, no good.
A good line on that shot, though. I thought Kishimoto could have taken that one because he was also wide open, needed to come out with an extra pass to Furukawa. And on the other end, Spates draws the foul on Furukawa, shooting the three.
Spates has that great ability, you know, of drawing the contact and finding a way to get in rhythm, get to the free throw line. Spates looking still for his first points in this ball game.
Coach Juan Antonio Orenga giving instructions to Sheralijan Mukhtar. Changes again for Guangzhou. Gokai returning to the ball game. 5 for 4 so far for most Spates. A couple of free throws already made on this trip.
He gets 3 points there, but he will be subbed out as Jang Yong-peng and Juming Shin re-enter the ball game. But remember yesterday for Spates in that semifinals against the Seoul Samsung Thunders, it was a similar scenario. He couldn't find his range early on, but once he did, once he got that first shot to go in, he just got in rhythm and he kept flowing from there on.
Well, definitely, most Spates. It also helped that you know, Ben Imbala had to deal with a lot of big guys before he finally had to take on Spates.
Sure, Ira Brown to beat. Using his body, Juming Shin so good at finishing in traffic.
Well, Ira Brown, difficult defender to face, but Juming Shin, very smart and using his footwork very well there for the finish.
Brown would love to get those points back. He does so on that turnaround bang shot.
But Ira Brown very confident as he went up for that shot. That's a tough shot to make, especially using the glass.
Chen looking for Chang. He'll try his luck against Ayers. Decides it wasn't the best thing to do. Mukhtar from outside. No, Brown with the board.
Mukhtar struggling at the moment, and it's really hurt Guangzhou's field goal shooting in the second quarter. Kings still doing well, shooting 58-57%.
Now it's Ayers on the offensive end against Chang. Ayers with a miss. Great defense played by Jang Yong-peng.
Two big men canceling each other out.
Mukhtar. Three-pointer finally gets that to fall. That will do wonders for Guangzhou.
Well, that free ball is greeted by cheers from the crowd inside the Studio City Event Center. And they know that when Mukhtar gets going, it's going to be tough to stop for Ryukyu. But back comes Jeff Ayers, just relentless.
Ayers talking to that first row by courtside. Mukhtar. Jang Yong-peng and Jeff Ayers getting tangled up. Ayers throwing a spear. And Jang and Ayers getting into it right now.
And Zhang not backing down against an NBA veteran. And Jeff Ayers, gotta love the attitude from the Guangzhou Long Lion Center.
Well, everyone has to stand up for their ground at this point. You know, you're down to one last game. You've won everything so far. But neither team would want to settle for second place, that's for sure.
Furukawa returns for Suda, and I think this is a better matchup here. If you're Ryukyu defensively on Ju Mingxin, who's starting to get aggressive right now, Ju Mingxin, and especially if it's a possession per possession game for Guangzhou, I think the ideal way is to go to Ju Mingxin, really, to work his magic there, especially inside the paint. He's got the size advantage against the wingmen of the Ryukyu Golden Kings.
And Ju turns this into a 6-point game with a chance to get it to 5. He was the MVP of the Summer Super 8. And he wants another championship here.
No stranger to big games. Ju Mingxin, as he misses the second one. Big game player for the Guangzhou Long Lions.
Hashimoto throwing that ball away, but that was because of the great denial of Gokai.
I think Guangzhou started this game and the intensity wasn't as high as Ryukyu. And now they're starting to pick that up. And that's why they're back in the ballgame.
But it was Kishimoto there. Oh, and a sportsman-like foul in Mokhtar. And he might be ejected from this game. Sherali Jan Mokhtar has been thrown out of this ball game. And that is a huge development for the Guangzhou Long Lions.
Technical foul earlier. And he's out. That's it for Mokhtar. He hit Kishimoto with his knee.
And it has been, so much frustration for Mokhtar. And that's why now he won't be able to get a chance to help his team. There's still so much time left to play here in the finals. And like we said, Sedel, that composure really comes to play in big games like this.
No, absolutely. Mokhtar, he knows his team needs him. But what he's done there is more harm than good. And now they lose a very important player. Guangzhou Long Lions lose a very important player in their backcourt rotation. And he gives them, he may not be hitting well from beyond the arc, but he gives them that competitive edge, that swag that they need, especially when the going gets tough. And Mokhtar has to say goodbye.
And even just this stretch, Sedel, where Kishimoto just knocked down 2 free throws and then the Japanese get the possession again. That's already a huge advantage given to the Ryukyu Golden Kings.
But you know what? Mokhtar's ejection, you cannot just count that on Mokhtar's, decision earlier to complain or his unsportsmanlike foul right here. I think it's also a testament to the way the guards of Ryukyu has been playing. They've been playing fantastic basketball. And that has really left Mokhtar frustrated, and that has led to his ejection.
Absolutely correct. Now Fog will have to do some heavy lifting. Referees say no basket, but since Ryukyu has been in penalty, that will mean 2 free throws for Fog.
Well, he took a continuation. Kishimoto still checking. I think he got hit on the face there, right? Oh, he's blooded up here, Judd. On the nose.
Let's see where it happened here. could have been there on the collision with the head of Kyle Fogg. Well, Fogg has been a tough assignment for every matchup he's had in this tournament, and he's big for a guard at 6'3", has the speed, has so many ways of scoring. And Kishimoto played him the right way. Just stick with him throughout the way. Move your feet, but just getting a bad hit there. And of course, it also hurts that the foul was whistled on him.
But Kishimoto, right, back on the bench, smiling.
Well, he saw the first free throw of Fogg miss. I guess that's what caused the smile.
Ended up as a good foul for Kishimoto because just one free throw was made.
Namizato. Wow, what an athletic finish with the left hand.
Well, if you're give up a lot of size on the court, you have to learn tricks like that and eventually use that in the game. There's a lot of practice on that shot from Kishimoto, from Namizato rather.
Fogg drawing another foul. And it's gonna be on Scott. Oh, Namizato rather. Scott has been trying to split defenses, and when he gets in the middle of two defenders, of course there's gonna be a lot of contact.
Kyle Fogg has to take charge here because I think Guangzhou has really struggled to get into the flow of their offense. Just 28 points so far, make that 29.
How incredible is that for Kyle Fogg, you know, responsible for a lot of the output here, almost half. But then
he's been balling throughout this tournament, Judd.
Absolutely. But for Ryukyu, are you okay with Fogg getting maybe 40, even 50 points, but shutting down the rest of the team?
Absolutely, I'll be fine with that. But and you see this Ryukyu team, they don't run out of weapons.
Let's see there. A miss from outside for Brown, and Scott getting the putback.
Well, Scott just running around Sun Min Yang. I think he has to do a better job there in boxing out. He has to feel where Scott is all the time when the ball is up in the air.
Great denial from Ira Brown. Fogg escaping the defense. Namizato that time just trying not to commit a foul.
But you see that basket by Fogg, he was made to work very hard by Namizato.
And if you're Coach Sasa, that's the only thing you can ask for from your team. Ira has been missing his shots, especially from the perimeter and outside.
Oh, look at that.
Kyle Fogg doing away. Unstoppable. He now has a total of 19 points.
There's a timeout, but look at that move from Kyle Fogg. Initially denied by Furukawa, but you know, full credit to Kyle Fogg. Just a wonderful performance so far.
Pin down. Furu, screen forward. Josh, kind of a little bit away. You receive it, all right? Okay. And then Furu, after that, you like screen, you curl a screen, you go back to court, go to one, and then make Nari just like after pass, you cut the short corner. All right, Josh, let's go. We don't see what to see. Let's go.
Kyle Fogg earlier in this tournament dropped 37 points. That was how he introduced himself to the Asia League Terrific 12. And you see how intense he is here. He's in his element. And right now, Ryukyu having no answers on the defensive end for Kyle Fogg.
Well, Kyle Fogg, 19 points so far, but I think the Ryukyu's guards couldn't have played him very well, any better there, but Scott, oh my goodness, the spin cycle.
He just put Sun Min Young in the washing machine.
But each basket here for Guangzhou is responded by another basket by Ryukyu. But you see the difference here is that Guangzhou has a difficult time making those shots, but here, terrific spacing again from Ryukyu, getting the basket from Scott, and really not much that Guangzhou can do there, especially Sun Min Young is stopping that one.
Well, you know, one-on-one, it will be tough, definitely, for Sun Min Young. And that's also where the importance of scouting Sidel comes in. That, why they allowed Scott to go one-on-one against Sun Min Young is because they saw what Impala did yesterday and how he was able to expose the defense. But also, at the same time, despite their scouting, Ryukyu failing to find a way to neutralize the effect of Kyle Fogg. Shot clock is off. Namizato orchestrating the offense. Chen in front of him. Double screens from outside. A 3-ball. No good. Furukawa, the offensive board, puts it up. Still nothing. And time will expire in the first half of the finals of the Asia League Terrific 12. It has been an incredible ball game that promises to be much better even in the second half. 41-36 is the lead so far for the Ryukyu Golden Kings of Japan. Ryuichi Kishimoto and the Ryukyu Golden Kings up by 5 points here at the half. It's the finals of the Asia League Terrific 12. Josh Cott with a productive first half, also a big reason why his team is up. John Sulit and Sadal Tupas bringing you the action from the Studio City Event Center in Macau. But the reason why it's just down to a 5-point lead after it was up to 11 earlier is that man, Cal Fong. What a takeover you had in that second period.
Well, Cal Fong showing us how great he is in that first half, but you know, you have to go back to the other side. The Ryukyu Golden Kings, as long as Cal Fong gets his baskets, they've limited everyone else to just 5 points. So Juming Shin, 5 points in that first half. Mokhtar was ejected late in that second quarter, also with 5 points. But the Golden Kings have 4 players with at least 8 points. And that shows you the balance and the teamwork of this team from Japan.
Well, what happened, however, in that second period? Was there any adjustment you saw from the Long Lions, apart, of course, from Cal Fong just running the show?
Well, I thought they were better defensively. The intensity went up. There was an urgency to to stay in front of their man, because that's always been the problem here, especially from the Chinese teams in this tournament. We saw Xinjiang struggle with an athletic team like Ayako Green Warriors, and all the others also struggling. But I think Guangzhou has to play better here and play with more urgency in the second half.
Hashimoto, Manamizato rather, missing that J. Good defense shown by the Long Lions. They brought out Spades to open up the second half. Fog. Again scoring 23 points for him now.
Chow late to help out there was Jeff Ayers. And that was too easy for Cal Fong against Kishimoto, beating his man off the dribble.
Ayers. Torokawa now with 7 seconds left. Ayers to Kishimoto. Step back. Oh, he gets it from the corner. I think it also touched the board.
It did. Absolutely. That's a crazy shot right there. You know, the angle was long gone, but he used the board. Oh my God.
Guangzhou gets the offensive rebound. Spades looking to get those 3 back. No. Namizato. They're trying to get it to Ayers. Jeff missing.
Well, that was one of the instructions of Coach Norio Sasa during the break, is that when most Spades takes the 3 ball, you have to go and leak out, as Gokai gets the 2 points there inside, and it's now just a 4-point game.
Namizato will slow things down. They're still going to Jeff Ayers. It's Gokai manning him right now. That's a foul. 1 goal. Well, the reason why he bumped Ayers at the wrong time when Ayers was sort of making that hop towards the basket. So Ayers was vulnerable at that point, thus causing him to lose his balance.
Gokai, it's a better matchup, I think, to Ayers than all the other big men inside on that bench of Guangzhou. He's quicker, he's mobile, he's agile as well.
Well, 2 months ago, Sidel, the Guangzhou Long Lions, they won the championship in the Summer Super 8. It was in a different arena, but still here in Macau, and they want to get that result again here. The 3 ball is good! Heng Yifei turns it into a single-point ball game.
Well, Heng Yifei pulled off the bench, but talk about staying ready.
And a steal here. Oh, but Spades throws the ball away.
And the referee got a good look on that one. And he's saying the ball should go to Ryukyu. Nobody touched that. As Furukawa defended Cal Fong very well there in transition.
Namizato again. UQ working that ball around. The defense of Guangzhou a bit more unforgiving here in the second half. Block. 8 seconds left for UQ. Kishimoto dropping it off for Ayers, but it bounced off of his foot. Ball goes back to Guangzhou with a brand new opportunity to take the lead.
I like that defensive sequence from Guangzhou just because they forced Kishimoto to put that ball on the floor. He's not comfortable with putting that ball on the floor, thus forcing the turnover.
Fog did not get the lead for his squad. Goal with the deflection, gets the steal. Fog thought about it, Foul in the bucket! For the first time in this game, Guangzhou enjoys a taste of the lead.
And we talk about Guangzhou, they always figure things out. And that time, I think that typified what they're all about. Zhu Mingxun over the taller defender, getting the basket and the foul.
Ira Brown checking back into the game.
Guangzhou has outscored UQ 10-3 in the first 3.5 minutes of the second half.
Will UQ be able to muster up a response? Here's the option for them, or Scott rather. Spades getting to that shot. Fog out to Hank. Jumper no good. Rebound by Furukawa, and that's going to be a foul and goal.
Bokai has been a key player here for Guangzhou's comeback. His defense, I think, is being just the mobile player that he is in matching up with the imports of UQ has been very critical to the side of the Long Lions in gaining the lead for the first time in this ballgame.
Oh, there has been more support for Cal Fog here in the third period. That's key also. Namizato says, I can also provide support for my squad, evening up the count at 46.
Well, this is something I think that Ryukyu can exploit. Kyle Fogg has been working very hard on offense, and why not take the game to him on the defensive end?
Spades. Hook shot doesn't bounce in. Rebound taken by the Golden Kings.
Well, Spades not comfortable with his back to the basket. And right here, uncharacteristic mistake from the Golden Kings.
That also really hurts them because they had advantage in transition. It was supposed to be a 3-on-1 fast break. Nonetheless, they go back to play defense. Fog. Namizato in front of him. Cal Fog likes this matchup. Uses his body, scores over Namizato.
And right there, Fog signaling that Namizato cannot reach him.
Scott out to Kishimoto. Empty on the three. Fog with the running start again. Cal Fog, stop and pop three, no good. Go will lose control of that basketball. It will go back to UQ.
This matchup is just getting better. Now the Golden Kings made to work very hard for their baskets. And on the other end, the defense as well of UQ has to really, get back to where it was in the first half, also making it difficult for Guangzhou.
Well, Guangzhou here in the third quarter, 4 of 7 from the field. As for UQ, that's only their second field goal. But that's also important because Brown ties the game up.
And Namizato is pumped up. He's rising to the challenge here. A bit of trash talking between him and Kyle Fogg.
Hank hesitated. Doesn't get that shot. They go to the corner. Kishimoto attacking baseline, couldn't get it, but Scott was there to clean it up. And the foul. And Kishimoto is still beating himself up. But if I were his coach, I'd say it's okay because now we get a three-point play opportunity.
Absolutely, I would have traded that miss for this one because Heng Yifeng again, not even taking the effort of staying in front of Kishimoto. That was a free lane to the basket.
And now no spades on the floor for UQ. Scott completes a three-point play. Advantage back with the Japanese team, the Ryukyu Golden Kings, 51-48.
Namizato playing so well, taking the past few possessions, got a breather here.
Scott, however, has been absolutely on fire.
He couldn't have played him any better. Right there, Kyle Fogg, just absolutely terrific.
Brown. Now out to Scott. We have 7 seconds to work with. And Josh Scott will stay with Ryukyu after that ball bounced off of Ju Ming-shin. But only 5 seconds left on the shot clock.
That was great defense by Guangzhou. They knew that Sun was going to be at a disadvantage, especially on the penetration. They clog up the middle and prevent the penetration. But right here, just a smart inbound play.
Strong seal for Brown. Guangzhou already in penalty, so that's something also that they have to be aware of. Foul called on Hashimoto. Well, Hashimoto's having a tougher time guarding Fogg than Namizato.
Well, you know, who doesn't have a tough time, have an easy time
Right.
guarding Kyle Fogg in this tournament?
That's the reason why he's the leading scorer of the terrific 12. And is on pace to eclipse his average of 32.7 points a game. Shen, two-man game with Sun Min-yang. Shen losing it on the way up. Brown takes it away. 2-point lead, Ryukyu. Oh, but the tap from behind. Shen making up for his error. Chuk hanging in there. Time once again.
Well, Ju Ming-shin, hang time move right there. That's where he is at his best in the open court and creating with those offensive incursions.
Scott against Sun Min-yang. That's going to be a foul, meaning free throws for Josh Scott.
Well, with a tight game in our hands, I think critical for Guangzhou really to prevent these type of fouls.
If you're just joining us, something that happened in the first half is Guangzhou actually lost an important player in Charlie-Jan Mukhtar, who was ejected after committing a technical foul, and then a few sequences later was whistled for an unsportsmanlike foul. Sun Min-yang also a warning for him of fouling out as he commits his third personal. Scott could only make one of 2 free throws, but that still is enough to give Ryukyu the lead. Fogg, offensive foul on Fogg.
And, you know, Kyle Fogg has been doing a lot of heavy lifting throughout this ballgame, and sooner or later, that call is going to catch up with him. He's done that with the smaller guards. And right here, that is an absolutely great call from our referees.
Well, you know, Sidov, at some point, you know, a guy like Kyle Fogg, as explosive as he is, with all the work that he's had to put in, he's forced to compensate. You lose that explosiveness as you tire out.
Yes, absolutely. And he's done that. I think he's done more than he has done in, in some of the games here. In just 3 quarters of play.
Caught again against Sun. Good defense from Sun Min-yang.
I thought he had an open man right at that corner.
A steal forced by Suda. from outside. Another three. That time coming from Takushi Ishizaki.
They just don't stop. The琉球Golden Kings, they always capitalize every time you make a mistake. And that right there was another display of how brilliant this team is.
I see that we've seen how much advantage a team gains whenever the other squad is in penalty. In the 15 games we've already finished here in the Terrific 12, that penalty situation is always ever so critical in the game.
Yes, and Ryukyu has done a fantastic job of staying away from that, even in the earlier periods of this ball game.
Well, now they're one foul away, so they also have to be careful as we still have a minute and 53 to go in the third. Sure. Well, that now will be the last foul to give for Ryukyu.
And this guy has to go to work with most Spain struggling and the rest of the big man really not making an impact. Only Jules can, next to Kyle Fogg is really the next offensive option for the Long Lions.
Here's Fogg. Goal, barreling in. Count the basket. Gokai flexing his muscles.
I think Gokai heard us that the big man aren't as impactful on the offensive end that time. Just bullying his way inside for 2 points. Saw the smaller defender and capitalized on his size.
Gokai with 4 points now. 4 rebounds as well. Kyle Fogg with 28. What has been a terrific night for him as an individual, but as a team, Guangzhou still trying to get back in this game. Sun Min Yang getting called for a foul, and that will mean 2 free throws. And what's gonna hurt Guangzhou more, that is already the 4th personal foul on the talented young big of the Long Lions.
Talk about a big call right here. Sun Min Yang. Tough. That's tough. Could have gone either way there.
You know, it's understandable also what he tried to do. It's understandable given a different situation still. If he only had 1 foul, I get what he tried to do. If it indeed is my read on it, is he clipped Ira Brown's arm in order to gain advantage. And the referee really wasn't in an angle to see it, but good eyes by our officials seeing that, and it was a risk on the part of Sun. However, a missed free throw for Brown.
Yeah, Ira Brown struggling with his shots right now. He's not getting a lot of arc on those jump shots and even his free throws.
2 misses for Brown. Sure. A minute and a half remaining in the third quarter. Still a 2-point lead for Ryukyu. Fogg wanting to erase that. Goal. Jumper no good. Rebound taken by the Japanese. Ishizaki will be calling the shot.
Well, that time Kyle Fogg deferring to his teammate Go. He stepped into that jumper. I think that's a good shot for Go. That is down on the floor is Hashimoto.
He was trying to get through the screen, and as Cheng Yin-chen tried to fight and follow him, got hit on the head.
Hashimoto has to go to the line to take 2 free throws. Take a look at this here, the hand of Ray Chen hitting the face of Hashimoto.
But with the run and gun style that Fogg likes to play, that's when he's at his best. What do you think is the effect of this penalty situation and everything just slowing down with all the fouls and free throws?
Well, it makes it difficult for Kyle Fogg to, really exploit the defense of Ryukyu, but I think also an opportunity for him to really attack the basket and exploit the mismatch, up top. Use his quickness.
Second one for Hashimoto. Good as well. On the floor for Guangzhou, you have Chen Go, Jang, Ju, and Kao Fog. Maurice Pace hasn't seen a lot of action after starting the third period. Both teams in penalty. The switch puts Brown on Fog. Foul called on Suda as Ko was trying to seal him.
Suda was caught holding on to Go Kai. On that switch right here, this is a mismatch. And Go may have gotten away with some contact there as well.
But it seemed as though Suda was the first one, right, who grabbed on to Go. That's why he was called for the foul. But Go, that's already his second missed free throw. Earlier, he had a three-point play opportunity, but also missed the freebie.
Well, fine margins here, spelling the difference in this ball game. Missed free throws, they could come back to haunt you.
Especially when you get nothing out of a trip. Ishizaki out to Suda. Thought about it? Now they get into Hashimoto attacking baseline. Ishizaki for three, no.
That's
Brown.
a good shot though.
Ball with Fog. Kao Fog getting the bucket!
Wow. Just amazing. Kyle Fog using the players. They're like codes here on the training drill. Kyle Fog. Sensational with a finish.
And he's got more than half of the points of Guangzhou. 30 already for Mr. Fog. We still have a full quarter left, Sidel. But at the same time, you know, praising him and all that, this is nothing new for a guy like Fog.
Oh, Kyle Fog, Arizona Wildcat.
Jeff Ayers on the other side, a former player of Arizona State University. Sun Devil by himself. Ayers coming out to set the pick. Shot clock winding down. Namizato puts up a three. Nope. Battle for the board. Brown draws a foul. Ayers asking for one on Jang. But that is also going to be a foul on Kokai. The third on him. Question now, can Brown finally hit free throws?
Well, right there, game getting tight. And the defense as well, closing in and clamping down. And Ryukyu unable to execute. They got a good shot there on Namizato. A clear look, but you know, it was a tough one. But this is where their size inside will come into play. Getting those offensive rebounds off misses.
Ira Brown struggling. 0 for 3 from the line. 3 for 8 from the field. Finally finds the mark there. And that is out of bounds. Great defense from Namizato. Well, him and Fog have been going at it all night.
And I like how Namizato has risen to the challenge against Fog. Not really fazed by the credentials of the American import.
Ira Brown couldn't finish. Oh, the pivot from Kurokawa was almost there, but it ripped out at the end of 3 quarters. Ryukyu still holding on to the advantage, but at some point in that third quarter, Guangzhou was able to get ahead. Good news is we have 10 more minutes of the terrific 12. The fourth quarter to determine our champion.
好，現場嘅朋友咧就比較好睇啊！好睇嘅話，就掌聲鼓勵下兩支球隊咧。
Can Kyle Fogg work some more magic in order to pull his Guangzhou long lines ahead? They have 10 full minutes to steal this advantage, maybe the championship, away from Ryukyu, who's up 60-58 right now. Fogg getting away. The kick out, Spades. Maurice Spades barreling in, tying up the game at 60.
Well, Maurice Spades returning to the game. He's well rested. Shot just his first field goal, made just his first field goal, 0 for 7 to start the ball game. I think he's fresher and should be more effective down the stretch.
Kishimoto, Fogg in front of him. Kurokawa to beat the shot clock, no good. Fogg with the running start.
Well, those are the type of shots that Kurokawa was able to make earlier.
Ball almost lost. Spades for the lead, no. Kishimoto that rebound. And that's going to be a foul on Spades. Scott will find himself at the free throw line. Second foul on Spades, the first team foul for Guangzhou in the fourth.
This is just terrific basketball. That's how you run the fast break right there. Scott not able to make the shot, but he draws the foul. But the way they move that ball quicker on the secondary break is absolutely terrific for Ryukyu. Free throws, though, becoming a problem here.
Scott has only made 3 of 6. He's working with a double-double, 13 and 10. Getting the second one. Both teams actually have missed crucial free throws in this ball game.
Well, the Long Lions, no stranger to tight games here in the terrific 12. But what about Ryukyu? I think this is the first time that they've reached this point in the ball game, and the outcome has yet to be settled.
Absolutely. Fogg looking for the lead. Not there. But hey, you did mention that it could be a problem. Them not being used to pressure-packed situation, but Ryukyu responding well to the resurgence of the Long Lions.
Absolutely, that's true. Let's take a look at this move here. Namizato would have been spectacular had he finished that over Fogg. It's off Josh Scott. Guangzhou again with a chance to regain the lead.
We have a very healthy crowd here inside the Studio City Event Center.
Absolutely. And I love the energy as well. Some nervous energy.
You can feel it,
yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
We go to Spades. Maurice misses. Kishimoto to ground. Lost control of it, recovered in time.
Well, that was one of the instructions earlier when Spades is there.
And the foul! Ira Brown! Dropping the hammer, and it's Gong Hai committing the foul. But you go ahead and say it. Who made that possible, Sidel?
Well, Namizato right there, and of course Brown just aware of his advantage here. Namizato, what about that pass? In an equally spectacular finish. What more can you say about that one? Just throwing the hammer.
But again, Brown missing on the bonus free throw. Now 1 for 5 from the free throw line. Nonetheless, still a 3-point lead. Fogg could not erase it.
Well, he's settling for outside shots now, Kyle Fogg.
And Namizato has taken over this game.
Oh my goodness. Namizato. Not just the responsibility of staying in front, Kyle Fogg, but also attacking, and those daredevil drives. Oh my goodness, using the left hand again and using the glass. Oh, tough one.
I mean, he doesn't score as much as Kyle Fogg, but the impact he has on the for his team, almost the same as the import of Guangzhou. Go, but not muster anything up there. And Brown again ahead of everyone. Another jam. And Guangzhou falls behind by 7. They call a timeout. Their琉球Golden Kings with a 7-0 run.
One down, try to pass the ball, long ball, pass, like to play hard, pop out, very good. You have to burn the ball.
联防啊，要上大人扩大人啊！300人加油！
加油！加油！加油！
A 7-0 run from the Ryukyu Golden Kings of Japan, and that's largely because of the smallest guy on the floor for them. Number 3, blonde hair, don't care, Narito Namizato.
Well, Namizato has been electrifying Studio City Event Center. But you know what, Judd? I'm actually, really, into this point right here that Ryukyu wearing down Guangzhou, because it's not been an easy task to slowly but surely pull away here as Kishimoto buries that three.
Ira Brown was actually sealing Maurice Spates, asking Kishimoto, attack. But then he said, I have a better idea. However, Namizato getting called for a foul while Fogg was taking a three-pointer.
Well, you feel that Ryukyu will get its second win here in this ball game. They've been playing too well not to do that, as Namizato is whistled for the personal.
Well, he has been bumped up, and for good reason, with how well he's played here in the second half. But at the same time, sometimes when you're too pumped up, too excited, that's when you make mistakes like this,
yes,
fouling on a three-point shooter.
Yeah, absolutely, but Kyle Fogg, does he still have enough to carry this team as Kishimoto knocks down that three in transition as well?
Fogg getting both free throws. First two of his 3 attempts, has only missed 1 so far.
And if you go back to a few plays earlier, before that Guangzhou timeout, Ira Brown leaking out for the jam, I think really was, characterized what Ryukyu has been doing. They're slowly but surely, wearing down this Guangzhou team, and we'll see if Guangzhou still has enough to really come back.
Ishizaki throwing the ball away. Fogg looking to go to work. Fogg getting past Kishimoto, shooting it over Josh Kahn.
Well, quick 5-0 burst here from Kyle Fogg, the man responsible for keeping Guangzhou in the ball game.
Well, who else? Kyle Fogg now with 35 points. just another day in the office as he gets past his man, shoots over the help defender. 70-63. Golden Kings still ahead.
Get that shirt. Remember shirt?
好，下面係仲有波嘅，OK，再大啲嘅掌聲得唔得？
Flash high. Flash 3 point. And then after swing it, let's get the short corner. Or after you pass Jeff, let's go to this high post. Okay. Okay. Let's go.
好，比賽繼續。
Real to what's it? Finish strong. Ball care.
6 minutes and 9 seconds remaining in the finals of the Terrific 12. Kyle Fogg lifting his team back into contention. Correction on the score, it's actually 70-65. We had some trouble here with technicalities. Scoreboard a bit late to update. Nonetheless, it is a 5-point advantage for the UQ Golden Kings. Josh Cott with a double-double of 14 and 13.
Well, you look at Josh Cott and you compare that with the performance of Kyle Fogg. Now, two imports, but they impact their teams differently. Kyle Fogg has to do a lot of creating on offense, and Josh Cott just filling the role, really, of a big man that's that finds ways, helps create for his teammates as well with those picks, and also has to crash the boards as well for offensive rebounds and running the floor for the UQ Golden Kings.
Scott, jumper, doesn't go. Chen with the board.
Well, they leave him wide open there. Most Spades not bothering to close him down.
Fogg missing. Spades may have gotten away with a nudge. Nonetheless, he turns this into a one-possession game.
Well, what a response from Guangzhou. Down 10 earlier, but they worked their way back in this basketball game.
Scott now going right at the defense of Spades. Furukawa from deep. No good. Spades with the rebound. 5 minutes and change to go in the final battle of the Terrific 12. Spades looking to tie the game. No good. Fogg was able to keep possession for Guangzhou. Shot clock resets to 14 seconds.
Well, just amazing from Kyle Fogg, because that offense was going nowhere. Spades taking that shot, and Fogg right here keeping it alive. It's off Josh Cott, so it's Guangzhou basketball.
Fogg along the three-point line. The hesitation. Kick out to Chu for the tie! Money on the three!
Well, Ju Ming-shin rising to the occasion. Kyle Fogg has done a terrific job, but others have to step up.
Guangzhou with a chance to take the lead here. Fogg, money ball, no. Kishimoto goes to Ishizaki. Ayers to Furukawa. Will try again, off again. Ishizaki, however, getting that rebound. That's a couple of open shots for Furukawa that he wasn't able to capitalize on.
He was wide open.
Oh, how about that? Kishimoto money on the three.
Well, those are the type of shots that bail out your offense, but also the type of shots that could prove critical down the stretch.
Big shot for big shot. First it was Ju, and then Kishimoto. Shen, his time to shine. No. Ishizaki with a rebound. Critical moments here in the finals of the Terrific 12.
Well, they still have to run the floor here if you're Ryukyu. Most Spades, not the quickest of big men. You have to capitalize on that, and this time Guangzhou recovers.
Furukawa, still nothing but offensive rebound taken by Ayers. 7 seconds on the shot clock. They go to Ishizaki, bumped by Spades, and that buys them more time. There was only 4.7 seconds remaining on the shot clock, and that will reset to 14.
Wow, what basketball we're seeing. Big play after big play. Furukawa gets a breather. He missed 3 open shots. Started the game really hot, but has cooled off.
Absolutely, you know, he was spectacular in getting the lead initially for the Golden Kings. That, however, is going to be the 4th foul on the Guangzhou Long Lions. Just the 2nd from Ray Chen, but now they're in penalty for the last 3 minutes of this game. Ishizaki. Jumper no good. Scott, Ayers. Scott now getting it. The foul called on Gokai. Scott will troop to the free throw line.
And this is how one way that Ryukyu can really get an advantage, because that's 5 fouls on Gokai, the most mobile big men out of the 4 of Coach Juan Antonio Orenga. Had to give up the foul here. Spades with a block, preventing what could have been a 3-point play, but this is a big as they lose Gokai in this ball game. And this is where, you know, what we're talking about, Ryukyu doesn't really, you know, beat you almost immediately, although they've gone on spurts, but the way they've been wearing down Guangzhou has been remarkable.
Scott turns this into a 2-possession ball game. Sun Mingyang replaces Gokai, but at the same time, Sun also with 4 fouls. 2 for 2 goes Scott.
And you got to go back to that Ishimoto shot. Big one.
Fogg. The kick out to Chen. Back to Kyle. High point man for the Guangzhou Long Lions. Chu would be big, but no. Sun, another try, still not there. Ayers getting that board.
Sun Mingyang hold off the bench, unable to hit.
But a
Ayers
bad
shot
miss there.
offline as well.
Spades. Watch out for that pull-up. Spades barrels in, draws a foul. That's only going to be the 13th foul for UQ. Referees.
And that's where you make your money. Most Spades attacking the paint without let-up, without hesitation.
That's also going to be the 4th foul on Jeff Ayers. So he's got to watch out. Namizato, after picking up 4 fouls, will return to the ball game. So on the floor for UQ, there are 3 players who have 4 fouls each. That's Suda, Namizato, and Ayers. Spades easily getting the first one. But the glaring stat there, 0 for 6 from downtown.
Well, that was a shot that most Spades was able to get early in the tournament. And I think that's also because he's been scouted very well by Ryukyu.
Winning time has been announced inside the Studio City in Macau. 12 seconds on the shot clock. Namizato, pull up, no. Fogg gauging his attack. Spades. Spades for the tie. Still nothing. And it's caught with a rebound. Most Spades not getting into any rhythm, especially from outside.
Oh, that's a big miss from most Spades. Could have tied the ball game. And that long rebound going to Scott.
Kishimoto! The 3 is good!
just a dagger, a cold-blooded assassin. Kishimoto coming alive in the fourth quarter, 21 big points and a 6-point lead for Ryukyu.
We score, we'll be in. If we freeze, we have to fall.
咱们这现在要快速得分了啊！一攻的话，
Now the ball is here. Just play, just score fast.
快速得分啊！快速得分。
Play like 3 but here. Now you're here, right? You take the ball. More you're here.
迎进传球啊！
No.
明星在这儿。
Go here.
Go here.
Kyle, here. Okay, if you can shoot,
直
shoot.
接他可以投
No,
3分
more.
啊，没
More
有的
you're
话，
here. Straight out.
梦
Here,
往
go.
里长去啊，然后明
Fight
阳也
for
往
these
篮
3
下
points. We cannot play very long.
Take a look at this one more time. The big shots of Ryuichi Kishimoto, the team captain of the Ryukyu Golden Kings. And he has, time and time again, brought life to this squad, especially here in the fourth quarter.
3 for 3 for Ryuki Kishimoto, one of the smallest guys on the floor, but making the biggest impact in this final period.
The inbound goes to Sun. Fog. He has to do something here. Gets it on the lay-in. 4-point lead for Ryukyu. Remember that Guangzhou is in penalty already. Kishimoto gets the ball. Why not? Scott. He receives it now. Mid-range shade is good. Back to a 6-point lead.
A well-run play there again by the Kings as Kyle Fogg puts up the tough shot, the 3-ball.
And this is looking really good for the Ryukyu Golden Kings.
Almost a steal there, but Namizato quickest to the ball, as he has always been throughout this tournament.
Ayers missing on the initial dunk, but Scott mopping up the miss.
Well, that I think, is a testament right there to all the work that Ryukyu has put in. You saw that play developing so far away as Guangzhou opted to complain and nobody there to challenge Scott at the rim.
Many would say that it's easy to say that that bump was the punctuation mark on what would be a win, what would be a championship for the Ryukyu Golden Kings. But I thought that missed 3 from Kalpak already put a big dent in their chance.
Well, definitely, and that's been the case here. Guangzhou, they've been relying too much on Kalpak. Other players not getting and settling into the rhythm of their game. And in the end, it came back to haunt them. Kalpak, not as fresh as he usually is down the stretch, had to do something more. And he just couldn't do it.
I'm thinking, and I want to ask you this: how big a part was Narito Namizato in neutralizing Kyle Fogg?
Well, absolutely huge, because Namizato dared Kyle Fogg to defend him in that third period, and that took a toll on Kyle Fogg, and that's because he's struggling right now, losing steam in the end.
Oh, 8-point lead, 25 seconds. Will take a lot. And Suda will foul out of the game, but he gives up the final foul to give of the Ryukyu Kings.
I think this is the best game so far of Ryukyu. We've seen them blow out opponents, but the quality of opposition that they faced in the final and the way they've been able to weather the storm and they survived this, and they're almost there on the verge of a title, it speaks a lot of how great this team is.
Fogg getting fouled there, and that's going to be free throws for Kyle Fogg. So, right now, Fogg trying to do everything he can to resuscitate his team. In 21.8 seconds, it's going to take a whole lot. It's going to take a miracle, but I like how quick up. You know, they're still fighting as hard as they could.
Well, as good as Ryukyu has been in this ball game, but how about this guy on the free throw line? Kyle Fogg cannot take anything away from him. 39 big points, and really largely responsible why Guangzhou is still in this ball game, and although it could eventually fall short.
At the same time, you know, Fogg, as impressive as any guy in this league, really. If the Asia League awards are a season MVP, a tournament MVP, we only award really the finals MVP. But considering the entire tournament, Kyle Fogg makes a big case as the most impressive guy we've seen here in tournament.
Well, his body of work in this terrific 12 is, you know, remarkable. And especially coming here, I think he's a new player for this team. And him and Mo Spades really forming a great combination up until the final, where Mo Spades struggled, especially with his shots. Just 11 points for Spades. They combined for 51 points, but you know, Kyle Fogg cannot do it alone.
Kyle Fogg currently with 14 big points, and that is the tournament high. And to be able to do it in a great team like the UQ Golden Kings, it really is very impressive. But the UQ Golden Kings playing, like you said, at the half, they had 4 guys with at least 8 points, and that was the story of how they got to this point. Nearly, well, could very well win the terrific 12.
Well, you remember the way we started this ball game. Kyle Fogg on fire, and you were talking about, you know, is Ryukyu willing to give Kyle Fogg all of the points and you know, not allow his teammates to get involved? I think that plan has worked really well.
How were they able to neutralize Maurice Spades?
Well, you know, they close out on most Spades. I think the beauty of the imports here of Ryukyu is that they're mobile and they can play up top. And most Spades, they can go, you know, they can close him out.
Free throws, however, Sedel will be extremely crucial here. With the Guangzhou Long Lions loaded with shooters, you have Heng Yifeng, Zhu Mingxin, Shen Yingchen, and even, as we know, center Mo Bucket Spades. They're on the floor. Just cannot leave a window of opportunity for them.
Well, still a 2-possession game. I'll make that a 3-possession game now. But, you know, talk about these imports of UQ. They don't get the spectacular numbers, but they complement this team perfectly.
Absolutely. Fogg now. They kick it out to Spades. 3 ball. And absolutely nothing for Maurice Spades here in the finals.
And even, you know, even the smaller players, the guards, closing out with most Spades, even with 11 seconds left, just shows you how the work ethic of this team.
You know, absolutely. And you think about it, how Spades was able to make basketball look so easy in the first few games of Guangzhou in this tournament, only to bump into the more difficult defense against the Seoul Samsung Thunders. But here, really in the finals, Ryukyu reminding him that, hey, this is how we'll play defense, and basketball will not always be easy.
Well, definitely, and also a lesson for most Spades, really, because he is going to be a very important player for Guangzhou in the CBA.
Absolutely, and this will be a championship. That buzzer makes it official. The UQ Golden Kings of Japan are the champions of the Asia League Terrific 12.
Well, the best team in the tournament, UQ Golden Kings from Japan. Full respect to this team. What a performance from start to finish. The Golden Kings, the backcourt, Kishimoto, Namisato, absolutely terrific in this final. And Ayers, Scott, and Ira Brown complimenting the guys on the floor for Coach Nurio Sasa. just outplaying the Guangzhou Long Lions favorite before starting the ball game.
Lions, Cal Bog with 40 points in the finals. Runners-up of the Terrific 12, they were champions in the Summer Super 8. Not a bad Asia League season for them. But I'm sure, you know, next season, next year, the Long Lions will come back hungrier than ever, and that will just make things a lot more exciting here.
Well, what a finish to this tournament. It's been absolutely terrific. I'd like to thank everyone for joining us in the Asia League Terrific 12. It's been a fun week of basketball. The best that Asia has to offer. The Ryukyu Golden Kings of Japan are the champions and quite deserving as well.
Stay tuned for the awarding ceremony, but as for now, for Sadel Tupas and for the entire group, the hard-working crew of the Asia League, this is John Sulit thanking you for joining us over the past 5 days. Incredible basketball here at the Terrific 12. We promise to bring you more next year, courtesy, of course, of the Asia League.
Good evening, Studio City. Thank you for joining us for the Terrific 12, and we are welcoming you now to the awarding ceremony. My name is Judge, and with me is Kalina.
Hello， 大家好。现在呢，就是我们在食堂年会的颁奖典礼即将开始了。
We have 12 teams, played 16 games in a span of 5 days. It has been extremely fun, and we hope that all of you enjoyed it. But now it's time to award the worthy celebrants of our top 2 teams as you saw them play an incredible ball game. But before that, let's call on our presenters. First up, please give it up for the CEO of Asia League, Mr. Matt Bayer.
那我们现在有请我们的颁奖嘉宾，首先有亚洲联赛首席执行官马泽先生。
The president of the Sports Bureau of Macau SAR Government, Mr. Pun Weng-kun.
澳门特别行政区政府体育局局长潘永全先生。
And also with us is the General Manager of Spalding China, Mr. Ho Wen-tong.
还有就是史博丁体育用品中国有限公司总经理侯文通先生，我们一起，大家给一点掌声，我们三位颁奖嘉宾。
Ladies and gentlemen, we saw 2 teams play their hearts out on this floor. Unfortunately, you can only award 1 champion, but our runners-up were extremely impressive as well. Kalina, let's now call on our runners-up for the Terrific 12. Give it up for the Guangzhou Long Lions!
一起给掌声我们的亚军的球队广州龙狮，谢谢他们过去5天的努力，给我们看到一个非常精彩的比赛。
We invite Mr. Matt Byers to award our runners-up with the medals. The Guangzhou Long Lions, despite falling short in the finals, showed terrific basketball in the tournament. They were undefeated up to this point, and also they were our champions 2 months ago in the Summer Super 8.
在夏天联赛的时候，他们也是我们的冠军球队。那现在我们有请我们颁奖嘉宾，亚洲联赛首席计时官马德先生。
So again, we invite Mr. Matt Byers to award our medals to our runners-up, the Guangzhou Long Lions.
大家再次给一声欢呼声，支持他们。我知道也有很多的球迷特地来到是支持他们的。非常精彩的比赛。
Remember your dream is your only scheme, so keep on pushing.
We'll have a couple of photos with the Guangzhou Long Lions. First up, one with our presenters.
现在有一个合照的时间。
Do not obey rumors people say, but you can pass the time.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, your runners-up of the terrific 12, the Guangzhou Long Lions.
To a greater day. With just a little faith, if you put your mind to it, you can
谢
show
谢
it do it.
三位的颁奖嘉宾。
And now, we are about to meet the one team that stood above them all, the champions of your Asia League Terrific 12, the UQ Golden Kings!
现在有请我们冠军球队琉球黄金帝王，我们一起给他们一些掌声。这是我们亚洲联赛非凡12的冠军。
Congratulations to the UQ Golden Kings of Japan, undefeated in this entire tournament and taking an 85-76 win in the finals.
他们是这几天以来也是没有一次输掉比赛的，一直来到最后拿到冠军。
And may we invite Mr. Pun Weng Pun to award our champions.
现在我们有请澳门特别行政区政府体育局局长潘先生带领送出奖品。
Studio City, give it up for your champions, the UQ Golden Kings.
他们刚刚的合作的精神，的确令我们非常的欣赏。
May we also invite the team captain of the UQ Golden Kings, Ryuichi Kishimoto, to receive the championship trophy. After a photo with our presenters.
现在我们先拍一个团队的合照。 我 期待的时间了。
So now let's call on team captain Ryuichi Kishimoto to receive the terrific 12 Golden Cup.
我们有请队长安本龙一去接过奖杯，大家一起给他们欢呼声。
Congratulations to the champions of the terrific 12, the Ryukyu Golden Kings of Japan.
我们在一起恭喜琉球黄金帝王。好，那这个时候他们应该是要拍一个合照的。
Give it up for the champions, 4-0, all the way from Japan. The second Japanese champion of the Asia League. We'll just take one more photo with all the confetti and all the celebration in.
休息一下，然后球员可以先把那个奖杯拍一个合照。Team photo time. Let's do some celebration and take some nice photos.
A team photo for the Ryukyu Golden Kings holding that championship trophy.
Raise your cup.
A team photo for the trophy. Go ahead and surround that trophy, guys. All right, and of course, we still have one more award to give out.
Yeah, 现在就是最佳表现球员 MVP 了。
We are now ready to announce the finals MVP. He hit big three-pointers in that fourth quarter. Number 14, Ryuichi Kishimoto.
队长安本龙一。大家都看到他们整队的表现，可是队长在最后的时刻拿了很多的三分球，把那个分数带领起来的。
The general manager of Spalding China, Mr. Ho Entong, awarding Ryuichi Kishimoto with that MVP, Finals MVP trophy.
颁奖的是石国丁体育用品中国有限公司总经理的侯文通先生，谢谢侯先生。
We'll just ask a few questions, all right, for Ryuichi. Once again, please give it up for our Finals MVP. Ryuichi, in that fourth quarter, Guangzhou was making a comeback, and you just hit big three-pointers that completely neutralized their budding run. What happened there with all those big ones you made?
でも本当無我夢中でプレーしてたんで、それが 自分のシュートは入ったんですけど、その過程の中でやっぱチームとしてすごく激しくずっとプレーしてた結果が自分のシュートにつながったと思うので、そこはやっぱり自分だけのものじゃなくて、本当チームメイトに感謝したいと思います。
He was just playing with it, without thinking. He was just playing with the feelings, but he was not on himself because the teammate we want this win, so we want to celebrate as a whole team.
那我来简单的翻译一下，他就说，其实他得奖非常开心，可是他要庆祝的话，他是想跟整个球队一起来庆祝，所以大家我们最后给他们整个球队再来一次的欢呼掌声吧。
Congratulations again, Ryuichi and the Ryukyu Golden Kings, champions of the Terrific 12. That does it for this tournament, but the Asia League has so much more in store. We'll see you guys next year for more of the Asia League.
那我们现在颁奖典礼已经来到最后的时刻，非常感谢大家的到来，然后再次恭喜得奖的球队。